The warthog is one of the most short-tempered animals on the entire African savanna. Those two curved tusks can open a lion from belly to spine. It will turn and charge a predator twice its size without a second of hesitation. It trusts almost nothing that moves. And yet, once a day, this animal walks straight up to a pack of small carnivores, creatures that hunt and kill for a living, kneels down in the dirt and lets them swarm all over its body. Dozens of them at once, climbing across its face, crawling between its legs, biting at its skin, right next to its eyes. The warthog doesn't fight back. It doesn't run. It closes its eyes, lowers its head into the dust, and holds perfectly still while a swarm of predators covers it completely. To understand why the fiercest animal on the plains would surrender itself like this, willingly, every single day, you have to understand two things. What is hiding in the warthog's skin, and what those little predators are really there to do? Start with the warthog's problem. This is an animal that lives its whole life in filth, and it has no choice about it. To survive the brutal savanna heat, it wallows in mud and stagnant water for hours. Its skin is thick and tough, cracked into deep folds and wrinkles, studded with coarse bristles and crusted mud from the last waterhole. And every one of those folds is a shelter, a perfect, warm, hidden home for parasites. Ticks, not the small ones you might imagine. Engorged ticks the size of grapes, some of them, swollen tight and dark with the warthog's own blood, packed into the creases of its skin, around the eyes, inside the ears, between the legs, along the belly, in every place the animal physically cannot reach. A warthog's legs are short and stiff. Its neck barely turns. It can rub against a tree, it can roll in the dirt, but it can never dig a single one of these parasites out. And a heavy infestation is not just an itch. It's a slow bleed, constant blood loss, open sores, disease carried from one bite to the next. Left alone, the parasites win. So the warthog needs help, and the help that comes is the last animal on Earth you'd expect to be gentle with it. The banded mongoose. Small, quick, and every bit a predator. Do not let the size fool you. A pack of these will surround a cobra and tear it apart. They are fearless, coordinated, and relentless. They live in tight family groups, sometimes 30 or 40 strong, and they spend nearly every waking hour on the move, foraging, digging, hunting for anything with protein in it. Insects, larvae, eggs, small reptiles, and ticks. To a mongoose, a fat, blood-swollen tick isn't a parasite to be removed as a favor. It's a meal. A rich, easy, protein-packed meal that doesn't run, doesn't fight, and doesn't hide very well once you know where to look. And there is no better place on the savanna to find hundreds of them in one spot than clinging to the hide of a filthy, tick-covered warthog. That is the entire foundation of what happens next. Not friendship, not kindness, just hunger, meeting need, out in the open. Watch how the deal is actually struck, because it's stranger than it sounds. A warthog will approach a foraging mongoose pack and do something that should be impossible for an animal this defensive. It slows down, it folds its front legs beneath it, and it lowers its huge body all the way to the ground, right in the middle of the group. Exposed, tusks pinned uselessly against the earth, throat and belly open to the world. It is an invitation, and the mongooses read it instantly. They swarm. They pour over the warthog from every side, climbing onto its back, scrambling across its shoulders, working along its belly and up around its face. And then the feeding begins. Sharp little teeth find the swollen ticks and pull them straight off the skin, one after another, cracking the hard bodies open and swallowing them whole. They are fast, and they are thorough. A single warthog can be carrying hundreds of parasites, and a full pack moves across it like a cleaning crew that is also at the same time a feeding frenzy. Every mongoose racing to strip off as many ticks as it can before they're gone. For the warthog, the relief is immediate and real. In just a few minutes, parasites that had been draining it for weeks, parasites it could never have reached on its own, are simply gone, cracked open, and eaten. For the mongoose pack, it's the best kind of meal there is. Guaranteed, delivered, and completely without risk. It looks in that moment like the perfect partnership. Two species helping each other survive, but look closer, and it is far colder than it appears, because neither of these animals is doing the other a kindness. The mongooses are not cleaning the warthog because they care about it. If that warthog had no ticks, they wouldn't come within 10 feet of it. Strip away the parasites and the entire relationship vanishes, and the warthog is not befriending the mongooses either. It is using them. Two entirely self-interested animals, each taking exactly what it needs from the other and not one thing more. Scientists are actually careful about this one. Unlike the oxpeckers that ride the big grazers or the cleaner fish of the reef, they don't even class the mongoose and the warthog as a true, settled partnership. It's too loose, too temporary. It's opportunistic, a deal struck fresh each time two hungry, itching animals happen to cross paths and abandon the instant it stops paying off. And buried inside that deal is a genuine risk, for the warthog especially. Think about the position it puts itself in. It is lying flat on the ground, eyes shut, body still, deliberately surrounded by a pack of carnivores. Its one great weapon, those lethal tusks, is completely useless pressed against the dirt. For those few minutes, the single most aggressive animal on the savanna makes itself totally, deliberately defenseless. It is placing a bet that this pack of predators wants the easy meal of ticks far more than it wants any kind of trouble. And every day, that bet pays off. Not because the mongooses are loyal, but because the arrangement is simply worth more to both sides kept than broken. Then, as suddenly as it started, it's over. The ticks are gone, and with them, the mongoose's interest. The pack breaks apart and scatters back into the tall grass to keep foraging, already forgetting the warthog entirely. And the warthog heaves itself back onto its feet, shakes the dust off its hide, and walks away. Cleaner, lighter, freed of the parasites, and instantly back to being the bad-tempered, unapproachable animal it was before it ever lay down. No affection passed between them, no bond was formed, no friendship. Just two species that worked out, a very long time ago, that they are worth more to each other cooperating than they ever would be apart. Because on the African savanna, the strongest arrangements are almost never built on trust. They're built on need, and sometimes the fiercest, most dangerous animal on the entire plain stays alive by doing the most vulnerable thing imaginable. Lying down in the dirt, closing its eyes and letting its enemies crawl all over it. Because deep down, it understands something we tend to forget. You don't have to like someone to need them, and you don't have to trust them to make a deal.